Hello everybody, welcome back to Read and Reread. I am Angelia and today I am doing a tag and it is called, what is it called? It's called the Currently Reading Tag. It's a tag about reading habits and I haven't done one of these in a while. I haven't done this specific one. I did another one about general reading habits, but it was quite a while ago. And this tag came along in a fortuitous fashion from Melinda at A Web of Stories. She says that the tag was created, I have it over here, by Charley Ray Horse, but she couldn't find the channel. And I'm going to put Melinda's version of the video down below for your viewing enjoyment. So please take a look at that and like and subscribe to Melinda because she has lots of content. She just reads a ton, so you can get all kinds of great book ideas from her. So check it out. The timing was great because last night, kind of late, in the evening, all of a sudden it dawned on me that it was Monday night and that I wanted to do a video on Tuesday morning, and I was not ready at all, not prepared. And I think it snuck up on me because I did an extra video that came out on Sunday. So my feeling was that like not enough days had gone by, and your feeling might be that too if you're thinking, oh my gosh, she did another video. But anyway, here it is. But it is Tuesday and I wanted to do a video, and I had a bunch of half-cooked things going. I'm working on some September things that will be a couple videos. I have a haul, but I'm waiting for a couple of books that haven't arrived yet. There was another tag that I thought about, but all my possible answers were deeply boring. So I was like, I was adrift, and then I got tagged by Melinda. So thank you, Melinda. Without further rambling, let's actually look at these questions. Number one, how many books do you read at once? Well, for many, many years, decades upon end, I was a book reading monogamist, and only recently in the past few months, I have become a two-timer. And this happened around the time of March of the Mammoths. This is why it happened. I decided to try to read the Mammoth on the side, and it worked. So now I have started doing that. I have my main book going that is my fiction, and then on the side I might have, well, I haven't done another Mammoth yet, but I've done some nonfiction and some short story collections. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm officially reading Crook Manifesto by Colson Whitehead. I am loving this book. I am excited to talk about it on Friday because I don't know if I think I'll be finished by then. I don't know. We'll see. But it's really good. And on the side, I'm reading Rainbow, these short stories by Lydia Conklin that I bought in San Francisco on my trip. And I'll be done with this by Friday too, I believe. I don't have that many stories left. So I'm able to, that I can do. It has to be two different genres or formats, or, you know, a book from 200 years ago and a contemporary one. It has to be some sort of a divide, and then I can handle it. And there's an extra part of this question. If you're reading more than one book at a time, how do you decide to switch to reading the other book? Do you read a certain amount of pages each? It's nothing formal like that. I tend to read the other book either at some sort of beginning point. Maybe I'm sitting down in the evening to read, and I will start with that one, and it depends on the division of the book. With the short stories, it's easy. I'll decide I'm going to read a short story and then move on to my novel. And if it's another type of book, like a nonfiction, or when I read David Copperfield, there was chapter divisions, and that works as well. Or maybe I have been reading my novel for a while, and then I take a break, I go get a snack or do something around the house, and when I come back, again, it's like a new set point, and that's when I might read the other book. So it's nothing specific. I don't switch back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's either a separate little reading time or at the beginning of the reading time usually. Question number 3 is, this looks really dorky, but I have these questions up over here on my Chromebook. Do you ever switch bookmarks when you're partway through a book? I do, but not on purpose. Usually I'll take the bookmark out, I'm reading, and then I go to leave, and all of a sudden I look around and I don't see it anywhere. And so I grab another one. I'm usually just sitting on it. I have a vast fleet of bookmarks. I have a big mountain of them. I mean, this was what was sitting in my book cart right next to me where I read here in my library. My bookmarks used to all live in my bedside table, but now they've kind of migrated, and I still have a batch over there, but I have a ton of them in here because I read in here a lot now that we are in this house and I have this library room set up in here. This could be a whole video of its own about the bookmarks, but I mean, they're really nothing fancy. I don't buy expensive ones, but I have things like this came from a store. This is a really cool store in Santa Monica that has a lot of vintage props that they rent out to movies, but they sell things in their shop. Leftover things from my school librarian days. These cards that come from my tea company, and this is an oh no, like I got a substitute on this tea of the month because it had coconut, and I don't like coconut. Actual card out of a book. Things from independent bookstores. This one kind of freaks me out. I don't know if this will show up, but it's like weird 3D one. Anything interesting in here? Another independent bookstore. This one's in Dallas. This one has a little magnifier. It's hard to get it out of here. Well, is it gonna come out? Okay. You can't really tell, but you put it on the book and it like magnifies the letters, and it was stuck inside of a book that I bought, and you know, I'm getting up there in the years. I might need this pretty soon. And here's a little cutie. This is the promotion right now at our public library. It's a summer reading program for adults. I showed it to you when it began. It's like, I am so far off the track, but I'm just gonna keep talking. The Bookopoly, where you read books in all of these categories, and then when you finish the different neighborhoods like a Monopoly board, you get a bead. And I'm almost done. I have like 2 left, and I got a little charm for doing the corners. I picked this little horse that reminds me of the carousel horse on the cover of Catcher in the Rye. See? And look how I managed to slip Catcher in the Rye into a video that didn't even ask for any books. Let's look at the next question. Where do you keep the books that you are currently reading? There could be a few places. If I'm thinking, okay, where's my book? I'll stick in some pictures. It might be on my ottoman that's sitting by my reading chair. It might be in my bedroom. I'm not putting a picture of that, but it might be in there in my bedside table. It might be sitting on my desk. It might be here in my book cart. It's gonna float around amongst the places that I read the most. And my cart is where I keep all the things. The cart, and they sort of collect on the ottoman too. All the things that I am about to read, recently purchased, or I'm preparing it for a video. That's kind of the headquarters. What time of the day do you spend the most time reading? It comes and goes throughout the day, and this is because I'm retired and I don't have a child at home anymore, so I can dip in and out a lot all day. And that's why my number of books read in a week or a month has bumped up substantially, because I just have more time. I'm not reading faster, definitely, but I'm just reading more. And so generally, I mean, this is very vague, but usually I have a piece of time in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. On a day like today where I'm doing video, I'm filming this in the morning and then I'll edit it. So maybe I won't really read until afternoon, like around lunch or after lunch, and then a nice big time in the evening as well. But I come and go. I don't read in super long stretches. I'm a fidgety. I will read maybe for half an hour or an hour, or 2 hours, maybe in the whole block, but I won't just sit in one spot the whole time. I might get up and go talk to Steven, or I go get something in the kitchen, or I decide to take care of some little task I just thought of. So I come and go. But like sitting and reading all in a stretch without looking up or getting up, maybe a half to an hour would be a stretch. I don't know. Sometimes it's cut up more. Like I'm doing laundry and the buzzer's going off every 20 minutes. So I just, I read multiple times a day, I guess is the short version of that you wish I would have said to begin with. That was question 6. How long do you typically read in one go? So question 7, do you read hardcovers with the dust jacket on or off? I usually just leave them on. I have had a couple of books that had something delicate. Let me see if I can grab an example. This edition of Little Women has a very delicate kind of laser cut cover. And so when I have read that, I did take that off and set it aside. And I have a couple other books maybe like that that are old or a little fragile, and I might take the cover off and then put it back on. For the most part, I just leave them on. I do always peek in there because every now and then you find a fun surprise and there's something pretty inside. Most of the time they're just plain, so that's okay. And if it comes without a dust jacket, that's okay too. But I do like a pretty jacket. What position do you mainly use to read? I think that's kind of a funny question. I mean, I think, is that question really like, where do you sit, or do you sit or lay down, or it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a funny question. But my most common places at home are in my chair that you can see behind me, and I need that throw blanket like a hole in the head. And then in the evenings, I like to sit in my bed with like about 2,000 pillows. I have one of the pillows with the arms that I grew up, we called them husband pillow. And later when I got older and I talked about a husband pillow, everyone thought I was weird because I guess they're called like armrest pillows or something, but I've always called it a husband pillow. I need a new one. I've mushed mine. After every few years, I've kind of worn it out from reading in the bed, and then I need a new one. But anyway, I like to read in the evenings in my bedroom. And that's just an old tradition from when that was really my only time to read, was in the evening. I could relax and sit on my bed and read my book. But, I do read out in the living room once in a while or somewhere else, or even outside. I have fond memories of reading out in the backyard before it was 195 degrees every day, but maybe those times will come around again. Oh, I like to read at the beach too, because we live near the beach, and when it's not just so incredibly hot, we like to, it can be kind of hot, it can be warm, it can even be kind of cool, and you don't really wear beach clothes. But if it's like nice and sunny, we like to go to the beach and just take, some water or maybe a snack and our books and our beach chairs and just go read on the beach for a couple hours. And do you take the book you're currently reading everywhere you go? No, I will take the book I'm reading with me if I know there's going to be a wait, like taking my car in for an inspection, or maybe like a doctor appointment. I don't know if I'm going to be stuck in the waiting room for a long time. I might take it then. Or if I'm just unsure of the itinerary, I might bring one along. I used to bring a book along more when I was still a school librarian, and also my daughter was younger, because there'd be lots of carpool pickups or waiting for sports practice to finish and things like that. And I would have books from work, kids books, like kids novels that I was reading. I'd read those at my lunchtime and when I was waiting somewhere for her. And I got through a lot of those that way. And then I'd read my grown-up book at home at night. So I always had books in the car then, but now not so much. How often do you update your progress on Goodreads? Never, because I don't do Goodreads. As we have discussed before, I use my reading journal. This is my new one that I just started in August. Only thing in here so far is Old God's Time. Stay tuned on Friday for my thoughts. But I have a page ready for Crook Manifesto as soon as I finish it. And of course, I'm so glad that I've been keeping these journals, because now I have my kind of sporadic series of Time Warp Tuesday, where I pull out an old journal and I see what I was up to in some other year. So that has turned out to be really fun, and I'll do another one of those again soon. But no, I don't do Goodreads. I do look on there and read other people's reviews, and I have imaginary stars that I would give books if I was doing Goodreads, but I'm not. And the last question is, who would you like to tag? I do not know. I didn't think ahead to check to see who already did this. So I'm going to tag Priscilla at Evening Reader, and I'm going to tag Jim at Born Again Reader, because I don't think they've done this, and if they have, or they just don't want to, fine. And anybody else who thinks these are fun questions, please consider yourself tagged. And that is it for now. I'll be back on Friday with Friday Reads, with whatever I happen to have finished or anything else going on. So I hope that you are having a great day, and I will see you soon. Let me know what you agree or disagree with, or have totally different habits from mine, or whatever you feel compelled to say. Please put that in the comments, and please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Bye.